Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I'm going to be doing a review of this XL Workhorse from LT Wright in 01 tool steel. This, I don't think, is a production knife. I don't think that they've ever made this except for the pot house. I know that they make a Workhorse knife, which is a smaller version of this. So the pot house, if you don't know, for 20 bucks, you get to be a member, and then every month or so they let you buy a knife that you kind of customize. And I got this green G10 with the orange liners, something different. And I didn't know what to expect with this knife. I just took it camping. In fact, I made a review of this video last weekend, and then I took it camping again, and my opinions changed, and so I'm re-recording this video, even though I spent all the time to do it. I'm going to point out some things here about it that I both like and I don't like, and we're going to go through why making a knife bigger doesn't necessarily always lead to a successful design. But first, I'm going to ask you to please click that like, subscribe, leave a comment, helps the channel, and always thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. I'm a big fanboy of LT Wright and a bunch of other knives too, knife companies that are American made or whatnot as well. So this is the Bark River, and this is the Euro. You'll notice that this is a Scandi combination here, and it's what do we call it? Its bevel here on the Scandi is very tall to me. However, the Euro Scandi seems about the same height. But when you compare it to, and it's also, because it's like, I think it's 5/32 thick. Because it's so thick, it's actually a fairly steep angle. I don't have an angle measure on me, but I'm guessing that this is probably close to 20 degrees. This is also, and that's pretty good for a Scandi. I think that the sweet spot for a Scandi should be no less than 18 and no more than like 22-ish. So I think 20 fits in really nicely there. This is the Boker Bush Baby Friend from DBK. And it seems to have about this, like a little bit steeper of an angle, so maybe more like 22. Not 100% sure about this because, again, I'm just doing this by eye. But it has a shorter flat here, and some of that has to do with it's made from thinner stock, I think. It looks almost exactly the same. But when it's thicker like this, what happens is that for bushcraft tasks or splitting wood for shaving and other things, I find this actually easier to use than a shallower grind. I also thought this was interesting. When I was batoning with this, you can see that the Euro is just a skosh longer. And this is the first production of that. It's 4 inches here, and then this is just under 4 inches. It's like 3 7/8 almost. For some reason, this felt longer when I was batoning with it. I think maybe it's because of its thinness or whatever, but I've had a much harder time batoning with this. And I don't know why that is. I think it has something to do with the angle, and I think it has something to do with how long of a flat it has up here. Now, if we compare it to the Genesis is a wood chopping machine, and I find it to be, the knife that I compare to everything. I have bashed the crap out of this knife. I've never sharpened it, and I can go out there and I could probably baton another 300 pieces of wood. Right now, it feels super sharp. So having said that, this is also A2 steel. This is 01. I don't mind this steel. It has a really strong, a lot of toughness, and it can handle the steeper angles, more steep than you would expect from other knives with different carbide strengths. But you can see here, they're basically the same knife. The other part of this, I guess, that also makes it less easy to chop with is that it has so much belly up here. The Euro has substantially less belly, and so does the Bush Friend, right? This guy has almost no belly. And I think that the belly plays a part in it too, because when you're batoning and you're batoning over here, you're trying to slice, but you're not. So what I'm saying is that this is not a good knife for batoning. For other bushcraft tasks, it's fine. For shaving, it's fine. For opening big things, it's fine. It has a big hammer grip on it, which I really like, actually. I didn't think I would like it. Like this Genesis here, a lot of people look at it and go, well, it's not a Coke bottle handle. It's probably not very comfortable. It does have these scallops for the pinch grip work on it, but you know, there's no way that this is a comfortable knife. Actually, if you've ever used a hammer, you'll know that a hammer grip can be very comfortable, and that it is very comfortable. Now, the Coke bottle grip is also a very comfortable grip, but this actually feels better when you're batoning, because this is just a little bit thin here, and when you're holding it and you're batoning it, for some reason, it, to me, it doesn't feel as comfortable as having a little bit more girth in the hand, if you will. Sorry, guys. I know you're all chuckling to yourselves now. So what is this for? You know, I don't know. I'm glad I bought it. It came with a great sheath. It looks cool. I don't know how I'm going to use this knife. I really do not know how I'm going to use this knife, because honestly, most of the tasks that I would usually do with this bushcraft, I would use almost any knife. I would use the DBK Bush Friend before. I would use that for like bushcraft tasks such as, I mean, this is going to be good at making stakes and pegs. I haven't done that. I'm sure this is going to be good at kind of being a utilitarian workhorse knife around the campsite if you don't have anything else and you want to replace a bunch of stuff and you need a little bit of belly. That little bit of belly is going to be good for potentially doing kitchen tasks, slicing, skinning, or that kind of thing. However, a Scandi grind isn't the best for those type of tasks. So it's a weird little knife. Honestly, very weird little knife. And I'm glad that I took it out one more time and camped with it and really got to know it a little bit better before I made this review. It's very important to me that I take all these knives out and I really camp with them before I do a review of them. And yeah, I haven't done that with a Bush Friend. I think I did review it, but I did caveat. I did say that I hadn't done a camping trip with it yet. I do like it though. I ended up, one thing that this does really killer that I absolutely love, throws a spark like no one's business. I know some people think that they're basically, you know, cheating or whatever when they leave a sharp spine up here, and you can see the groove marks up here, right, where they sanded it to actually make it a true 90 degree, whereas Bark River polishes a little bit. And you can see I use this guy a lot. People use flint wrong all the time. And by that, I mean that if you have the angle of your knife like this, that is wrong. That is like over 45. You need to be really actually pretty darn tall to get a good scraping going. Having said that, Bark River rounds and takes off the burr here, and LT Wright does not. That not taking off the burr, this thing will throw a fountain of sparks, just like any LT Wright knife will, compared to a Bark River. Some people don't like that. Some people do. I find, though, that if you use the correct technique and you're more of a steep angle, it doesn't really matter, but the LT Wright will still throw a massive spark. So that's definitely one edge that it has over other type knives. A lot of the Boker knives, like this, has a pretty sharp darn spine right here. I'm going to do this off screen because I don't want to melt my plastic. I've done that a few times. Yeah, I mean, it throws a phenomenal spark. And that's just because it's less rounded on the top crown as the Bark River. So don't know what to do with this knife. Really do not. If you have any suggestions or you think I've missed something about with this review, really appreciate you letting me know. Like I said, I like the handle. I like the ergos. Very tall, lots of belly. The belly in a Scandi is a double-edged sword because a Scandi for me is more of a bushcraft knife. So this is trying to do something I don't think it's necessarily meant to do, but maybe I'm missing the point of this knife. So I would love for you to let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, peoples. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to get a chance to win a knife of the month, all you got to do is follow the link down below for Patreon. Help support this for $3 a month, and you might win a knife. Thanks so much. See you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.